Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying the content and that you guys are learning and growing from it. Hopefully that's all I really want from these videos that I'm putting out into the universe. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about confusion and clarity. I've been thinking a lot about this specific topic because I feel like every single time there's a full moon in Chiang Mai, where I am, or a full moon in general in the world, I feel like all of a sudden, before the full moon, I'm really, really conscious and really aware and I'm really happy and everything is going in the direction that I wanted to go to, right? So I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm going in the direction where I need to go to. I'm doing the things that I need to do. And I feel positive about the direction in which my life is going in. And then the full moon arrives and all of a sudden I feel crazy in the head. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. All of a sudden I feel like I'm absolutely the most stupidest person on this planet. I can't even believe that I'm doing this with my life. Where am I going? What am I doing? How am I supposed to be doing anything? Everything goes into this sense of confusion and non-clarity. Everything feels icky and I just feel uncomfortable because I just don't know what's going on. And then from that process of confusion comes clarity because I start thinking about the things that I'm doing. I start ruminating on it, reflecting on it, journaling on it, meditating on it. And then eventually I kind of get a few tidbits of information, a few tidbits of knowledge from it where I think, oh, so this is what I was supposed to learn from this confusion that happened. And then I get that source of clarity coming in. And from the clarity, I'm able to make changes if need be, or keep going on the same path if need be, whatever that learning might be for me, right? So from this process, and this happens every single month, some months are a little bit more tumultuous than others. So some months I'll be like, I just want to leave everything, I want to run away, I want to kill myself, I want to commit suicide, I want to do everything terrible, right? So some months are really, really bad. And some months are not as bad because I feel like perhaps in those months there isn't that much learning that has to be gained because I have been on the right path and I did not let myself be swayed by random people or swayed by random ideas, right? So from this process, I really learned the importance of confusion. And confusion is a word which is obviously really negatively tainted. We don't like being confused. Being confused is a bad thing. You don't want to be confused. You want clarity. You want to be clear about everything. You never want to be confused about anything. You want to always be very decisive. And if you want to do something, you're just going to go do it. You're not going to be confused about it, right? It's a very negative thing to be, a negative state to be in. But from these experiences that I have had, I feel like confusion is absolutely paramount in order for the growth that needs to happen in a human being. If we do not go through that state of confusion, if I did not go through these states of confusion every single month, then I wouldn't constantly be changing my path or kind of massaging it or kind of just a little bit of tweaking it to move in the directions that I need to move in. I'd always be stuck in the same spot, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now that is not necessarily a bad thing unless you're stuck in a comfort zone. And as an INFJ, yes, we are really good at change, but we're also really good at getting stuck in our narrow-mindedness. As a person, as a human being in general, I feel like it's really easy for us to get stuck into our narrow-minded thinking, into our comfort zones, into our narrow boxes that we create for ourselves, and we just sit in there and we just hide from all the change. We feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing, I should just stick to it, I should just stick to my guns and I'm just gonna do this for the rest of my life, right? But I think that's the reason why we go through these processes of confusion and consciousness and just all of this awareness where suddenly we realize, okay, great, I'm doing really well, I'm really proud of myself, I am going on this path and I've been stuck to this path for a while and I'm really grateful that I was persistent and consistent. But perhaps the universe is trying to tell me something, right? Perhaps the universe is telling me you have a different path that you need to take. Perhaps the universe is telling me that you need to kind of tweak your path a little bit so you kind of avoid this obstacle or you go around this bad thing. Oh God, sometimes I just don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so the universe is always kind of tweaking our direction and tweaking our path for us. And it does that, as I said, through creating confusion in us. Now the full moon is just perhaps it's maybe an excuse. Maybe we think, oh, it's a full moon so I can kind of do all this work that I need to do. Perhaps we could just do this work all the time. You don't actually need to wait for the full moon every month in order to feel that confusion and go through the process of getting to clarity. Perhaps you could just do this every single day, but it's a good excuse to kind of do a monthly cleanse and go to a monthly detox and change your plan monthly. So that's what I do, every full moon, and I really feel it in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, and I'll just kind of go through all the different things that I'm doing. I'll kind of go through all the different tasks that I'm taking on, all the different projects that I'm working on, all the different people that I'm meeting in my life, all the different extracurricular activities that I'm engaged in, all the different videos that I'm thinking about doing. I'll kind of go through a bunch of these things that are important to me, and I'll kind of just very quickly. It's not a really it's not a really long or arduous process. It's really easy, actually. You just kind of go through it quickly, and I'll realize that there are certain points of contention for me, certain points where I feel confused about the process, or confused about where I'm going and which direction I'm going in, right? I feel like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this, but am I really doing it because I want to do it? Or am I doing it because I need to do it? Or am I doing it because I feel like I have to do it, right? And so shoulds versus musts versus have to do's and all that stuff. So you kind of I go through all of these different things that I'm working on, all the different people I'm meeting as well. I'll kind of think about all the different people I've been meeting and think about, do I really want to meet this person anymore? Perhaps they're really negative and they're bringing me down, or maybe they're really positive and I really want to hang out more with them. So how can I make that happen, right? And so it's not just about the work that we're doing, it's also about the spiritual aspect of it. Am I spending enough time thinking about all the different things that I'm supposed to be doing on this planet? Am I thinking about all the different impact that I want to have on the planet and all the people around me? Am I doing enough physically, health-wise? Am I doing enough in terms of my mental development? Am I reading enough books? Am I meeting enough people? Or am I spending too much time being in hibernation? And so all of this stuff comes up. Not all of this stuff comes up at once. Every month you kind of maybe go through a different aspect of your life or a different part of your life, and you go through that process of confusion. For example, just recently, we had the full moon, and it was beautiful. It was a big, beautiful moon. It felt like it was bigger than normal, and it was just really bright and gorgeous here in Chiang Mai. And I was sitting there doing my journaling, and I really felt the effect of it. The main effect that I was feeling and the main confusion that it brought up for me was the process of physical activity and physical health. Now, as you guys might know, or might not know, probably don't know, Chiang Mai, which is where I live, it has a process of burning where they burn the fields every January, February, March, April. So they burn the fields to kind of clean up the fields and clear them up for the next crop, for the next season, right? And all of this burning, because Chiang Mai is in the valley, it's in like a pot, like a valley. So all of the smoke kind of just sits in Chiang Mai. It just sits there, and the mountains are covered. The air is really hard to breathe. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look smoky, except if you look at the mountain and you can't see it because it's covered by smoke. But you can actually sense it. I always feel it in the back of my throat, and I can always sense that I need to drink more hot water and hot tea because my throat's always scratchy and itchy. I feel like I'm getting a cold all the time. I'm like mucusy. And I know it's because of all the pollutants in the air. Now, of course, the government's doing what they can, but it's not enough. It's a tradition. They keep on doing it. They keep on burning the fields. And so all of this was causing me to have to take a serious look at my physical health and to make sure that I was taking good care of myself. It was so important to me because it's the only body that I have, and I want to make sure that my liver, which is doing the detoxifying of my body, was not getting damaged by all of the pollutants that were entering my lungs and my bloodstream, right? And so this was one of the main points of contention for me, is this last full moon. I started thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do in order to make sure my physical health is proper? And so I started thinking about detoxifying drinks. I started thinking about putting more spirulina into my diet, which is really good for detoxifying the liver and the body. I started thinking about what foods I could eat in order to improve my lung capacity and clean out my lungs. I started thinking about how I'm going to exercise in the morning. I started thinking about how maybe I should close my balcony doors during the day in order to prevent the smoke coming into my room. I started thinking about bringing a plant into my room so that I could clean out the air inside using a natural air purifier, like a tree or a plant. So I started thinking about all of these things, and I actually started implementing a couple of them into my life so I could change up the things I was doing and take care of myself, right? But I wouldn't have done this if I didn't go through that process of confusion and going into clarity. Now, the reason I want to really do this video, and I've been blabbing on for a while now, but the real reason for it is because I want to remove that tainted quality that we have, that we place on confusion. Confusion is not a bad thing. Confusion is actually a really good thing because it leads to comprehension, it leads to clarity, it leads to all of these decisions that we make and changes that we make in order to accommodate the confusion, right? If we did not have that process of confusion, if we did not go through the confusion in order to come back into the positive valley of, or the positive up growth of clarity, then we wouldn't actually make any changes in our life, right? So confusion is actually a really good thing. It's a sign that you need to change something in your life. It's a sign that you need to start thinking about something in your life. It's actually like a signpost that tells you something is wrong and you need to start paying more attention to it. Without that confusion, without that signpost, we wouldn't know, and we would just keep on trudging along on the same path for the rest of eternity, not thinking about the fact that perhaps we need to change something in our life, right? So I really wanted to do this video because I wanted to kind of clarify that idea. It's not a bad thing. If you're in a state of confusion right now with anything, with regards to your relationship, with regards to your schooling, with regards to your life, with regards to your parents, whatever it might be, there is a source, like a seed in there. There's something positive that you're supposed to gain from that confusion, and you can only gain it if you start looking at it a little bit more clearly, right? And you can only do that if you start being more conscious of it and more aware of it. Start asking the right questions. Why am I confused here? What am I supposed to learn from this? What exactly can I gain from this confusion? What kind of clarity can I actually gain from it, right? So you start asking those questions, start being more conscious, start journaling, meditating, reflecting, ruminating, whatever you do in order to gain that clarity. And that's the way you're going to come out of the valley of confusion and back into the upgrowth or the mountain of clarity, right? That's how we're going to do it. We're not just going to do it by crying about it or being sad that we're confused or depressed that we're confused. It's not a source. It shouldn't be a source of depression or sadness. It's actually a good thing, because if you go through that confusion, you can actually reach the clarity that you're seeking. And if this happens constantly over and over and over again, that's a good thing again, because that results in a lot of growth. And that's what we're all looking for, right? We're all looking for personal growth and personal development, right? I hope so. All right, I hope this makes sense. I really just wanted to do this video because I've been thinking about it for a while and I've been going through this process over and over again. I thought it would be useful for you guys to listen to me pontificating on it. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. All my contact information is in the description below. I always reply to all emails. I only reply to emails 2 or 3 times a week. So just wait for the answer. You know, I just don't want to reply to them every single day. I don't want to spend my time replying to emails. I want to do my work. But I will definitely get back to you eventually. All right? Again, thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.